For context, I didn't watch the full debate. I don't know if I'm going to watch the full debate. But it was bad. Even the little bits of it I saw were bad. There was no liberal or left-wing commentator going, hey, Biden killed it. And that's what I was afraid of. I basically skipped this debate because I know who I'm going to vote for. It is Joe Biden. If you're wondering, you MAGA motherfuckers can kindly shut the fuck up. The irony right now is I'm drinking out of a old Obama Biden mug that I got in 2016 to cope with Hillary Clinton's election loss. So the fucking coffee's too hot. I can't even drink this shit right now, which is great. Not that that's relevant to the fucking video. I'm looking at this shit if I were a Republican video editor. If I was a MAGA video editor. If I was a Trump guy. I'd be ecstatic. Not only could I play up the false sense of nostalgia that's been building up for the Trump presidency, which I don't understand, but I can also really hammer in on how feeble Biden looked, how weak he looked, how out of it he looked. Gone is any fucking goodwill in terms of his energy, his stamina that was built up from his State of the Union address back in March, February, I don't know, I don't remember. One of those 2 months. I know it wasn't April. Because I don't know what the fuck Biden had. If it was something like Adderall, if it was some fucking strong ass black coffee, some strong fucking tea, some energy drink, I don't know. But whoever was that guy failed tonight. Because the night where you needed Biden sharp, countering every point Donald Trump made, wasn't there. You needed an aggressive president. You needed somebody to remind the American people who have the political memory of lemmings, this guy is bad. This guy did a failed coup. He's the only president to do a failed coup. Every issue you can take from between the transition, between me and him, is on Trump. He failed to concede. He failed to give me the adequate resources to make sure, say, the vaccine rollout wasn't as screwed up as it was. We got there, but that was because Trump failed to transition properly. That was one of the major things that was on Trump. His pandemic response was an absolute joke. All Trump had to do in 2020 was shut the fuck up, listen to the guy who's been around since Reagan or Bush Sr., and he would have won re-election. And he didn't, because he couldn't keep his mouth shut. But it doesn't matter what the substance was. Not to mention the format of the debate. You have 2 minutes to make a statement, 1 minute to rebuttal or respond. What? You want these two geriatric fucks to do that? Like in that time? I'm 28 and I struggle to articulate things in a quick, precise fashion. I can do it. But sometimes it just takes me a couple minutes to adequately think of what my next words are going to be. Because I don't want to come off as a fucking idiot. I don't want to come off as somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. But that's exactly what Joe Biden came across as. Joe Biden, no matter what you say, in 2020, when Trump was doing his usual interrupting, that "will you shut up, man," was iconic, and I loved it. Alright? I know it was not the most presidential or dignified, but it was good TV. It was good entertainment. And that's partially why you watch a political debate. It is theater. There's only 2 strategies that I think Biden can do right now. Brush this off as just a bad day, a bad night, and go, "Hey, Donald, let's do 3 more of these." Bad night, so what? Obama had a bad night against Romney, let's go. Or he finds a successor quickly. I think before October 7th, I think Biden had better chances before then. Post it was always up in the air. Post this debate, even though Trump was lying out of his ass, rewriting history, as he does, Even when called out directly by Biden in one of his few quick, lucid moments, Trump was like, oh, it's a fake quote. He looked fucking weak. He didn't look like a goddamn president. He looked like a feeble old man, which is the problem. The problem is both these motherfuckers are old. They're too old to run. Despite Biden, and I say this seriously, on paper, being the most progressive president of my lifetime, because I can point to several good things he did. Ending a war in Afghanistan, making sure we got the vaccines rolled out despite the initial clusterfuck of it, recovering our economy, reducing the number of drone strikes significantly compared to his predecessor, closing Guantanamo Bay, having one of the strongest economies in my lifetime. There are other examples that I'm sure editor me will just put in the... Point is, I know me and editing is going to do a scroll sequence of all of Biden's accomplishments. However, Biden needed to be the one to do that. Biden needed to be the one to really hammer home how fucking horrible Trump was and is. Every point Trump made of, oh, you bungled the vaccine. Well, Donald, if you actually were a president who transitioned and helped my staff with whatever we needed to ensure that we were on top of foreign shit, domestic shit, as every other president has had, then we wouldn't have had such a difficult time getting the vaccines rolled out. But you wanted to play dictator and try to do a failed coup, which would have been some strong fucking language. But if you really want to set Trump off, that's how you do it. You remind people this motherfucker's too dangerous. This motherfucker said he'll be a dictator. It doesn't matter if he said on day one. No person running for president should ever say that I'm going to be a dictator. I don't give a shit what other words come after that sentence. The fact that this man did a failed coup, threatened to be a dictator, is an authoritarian, is obviously much worse in rhetoric and in his body language than he was before, because now he's on a revenge quest. This whole thing for Trump is a big revenge fantasy. And he doesn't give a shit who gets hurt in the process. He doesn't give a shit about this country. He gives a shit about holding on to power. That's why he's aligned himself so heavily with the Christian right. He's not a fucking Christian fundamentalist. But these assholes will help him hold on to power. That's why he aligns with them. I hate Trump, but give him credit where credit is due. Not the debate, but going to Libertarian Convention, I thought that was kind of stupid, but hey, if you want to try to siphon off some Libertarian votes to secure a win, because that's what that was, not necessarily to get the nomination, because I don't think that's even possible. But I wish Biden would try that. I don't know how well it would go, because Biden would have to act on it. Biden would have to sign a permanent ceasefire. Biden would really have to work with Benji and convince the son of a bitch to have a ceasefire. But that's one scenario I think he could do to redeem himself. He could just cancel student debt outright. That's one other thing he could do. He could pass universal health care right now, in theory. That's another thing you could have brought up. You had both houses of Congress, and you couldn't come up with a better healthcare plan that your predecessor came up with. And that's just within the span of a few seconds of me just thinking out of my ass. These people have teams with them, strategists with them, people who know what the fuck they're doing, supposedly. This whole debate, that split screen, killed him. Trump looked forceful. I'm going off of optics, man. That's how I'm judging this shit. I'm not judging this shit on substance. Because in terms of fucking substance, Biden obviously would win. That's the goddamn truth. Trump has no fucking substance. He's got fear-mongering. He's got the same goddamn lie he's had a million goddamn times about the election being rigged and stolen. Motherfucker still hasn't conceded yet. And nearly getting us into how many wars? We forget Trump's little spat with North Korea, or how he also failed to form diplomatic ties with North Korea. He didn't succeed in that. I'm just bringing that up as something he could tout that you could just counter. The other thing is Biden could have just rallied about, I ended the war that you failed to end. I was the president that bit the bullet on it. Not you. That was me. I ended the Afghanistan war. I'm really trying to think of states the Democratic Party could have been any more screwed in terms of being the incumbent party. The ones that really come to my mind would be Johnson and Carter. Carter had a real hard primary battle against Kennedy, and that split the vote for Reagan. And there were also several other factors with Carter as well. Lyndon Johnson decided not to run again because people either tired, knew he couldn't win, or both. Biden shouldn't have announced he was going to run again. Biden should have just picked a successor, served out the rest of his term, focused on making this term the strongest it could be, not giving a shit about anything else but the presidency, but his legacy as president. But the problem is, we're too late. We're too entrenched in this. The thing is, Trump is not a strong candidate. There were so many things you could bring up. I named 5 of them. But that's not even all that shit you could bring up with him. The felonies alone should have been enough for Biden to go, oh, this is going to be easy. You're a convicted felon, I'm not. Peace. Biden turned something about abortion into immigration. Are you shitting me? This asshole was bragging that he repealed Roe v. Wade. And then it was up to the states, and you fumbled that answer. How do you fuck that up? That's like the main thing that saved you during the midterms. Was the fucking fact that Roe v. Wade was overturned and we had a goddamn theocratic Supreme Court. And you just make it about abortion. You just turn abortion into immigration. Even though you could go, hey, I passed comprehensive immigration reform that was more authoritarian and shitty. But it's securing the border now, even with the party that's trying to obstruct me to make sure you look good. That's something you could pull. Pull that shit. Go low. Enough of this. When they go low, we go high. Because that didn't work. When they go low, you go for the jugular. Where was the Joe Biden from his fucking State of the Union? Where was that Joe Biden? Can we have that Joe Biden for this shit? Sorry if I'm getting heated, but I'm genuinely angry. And I'm genuinely freaked the fuck out. I'm genuinely worried that Trump could win again. That's what I've been worried about for the longest time. I want to believe the American people aren't that stupid. And technically, Trump didn't win the popular vote in 2016 or 2020. But that's not how we elect a president. That's the Electoral College. I'm also just mad because the same week, Jamal Bowman lost his fucking primary, and I'm going, oh God, is this going to be a forecast for the election? I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic here because with Oz and Fetterman's debate performance looked horrible, but Fetterman at least was recovering from a stroke, and Fetterman's a whole different can of worms we could go into. I think he fucking sucks right now, and I voted in campaign for this son of a bitch, but whatever. Made my bed, got a lie in it, I guess. But the point is, back then, at least Fetterman had the sympathy factor of, this guy's recovering from a stroke, he's struggling, but hey, he wants to do the job. And he's not a conservative right-winger like Frank Oz, right? Fuck you, Fetterman. Fucking two-faced piece of shit. I'm no Dem strategist. I'm not a political strategist. We're too close to the election where you can replace Biden. That might be a possibility that somebody has to bite the bullet on and do. Or Biden shakes this off. Let's do 3 more. Fuck it, I had an off night, but come at me, Don. Let's do this. Let's do this. You want to go? Let's go, Donnie. Let's go. Let's go. I'll see you for 3 more fucking debates. Come on. That'd be kind of fucking badass, honestly. That's kind of what I was hyped because Biden, early on, had this facade of, oh, he's calling him out. He's going, hey, Donnie boy, you weren't in your fucking primary debates. Let's fucking go, man. And then to have that kind of swagger, that Oh yeah, I've been in politics for 50 years. I know my way around this block like the back of my hand. They go from that to, where am I? Where am I? I can't believe we're in this state. I read some comment on the Daily Show's analysis of this, where they summed it up as, how do you go from Obama to this? I gave Obama shit. So much shit when he was in office. But as I said, at least with Obama, he had the presence of a president. He looked like a president. He acted like a president. He spoke like a president. He elevated us so high on the world stage. And then we had 4 years of Trump, which was crackhead land. And then we had 4 years of Biden, which seemed great, honestly. Biden was impressing me. And then he fumbled the bag on getting his agenda passed, and has completely fumbled the bag with Israel. Because you need the youth vote. You need the Muslim vote. You need the Hispanic vote. You need the black vote. And a lot of marginalized people really give a shit when a marginalized group within the world is getting fucked with by one of the U.S.'s strongest allies. I mean, Biden could have gone into how Trump normalized white supremacist rhetoric and ideology to come out when he was in office. How he barely went after white supremacy and downplayed the threat of it. How about his record on the climate? Abysmal. There were so many things you could have gone after. And yet we had... Can somebody get Joe a fucking cough drop? What the fuck? Hey, Joe, here's some fucking coffee. Drink this shit. Anything! But we didn't have that. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen in November. I hope this was a fluke and that this debate doesn't mean anything. That's what I hope. I'm skeptical as hell if the debate won't impact Biden's re-election chances. I've looked at some shit from Nate Silver. It's bad. Maybe he'll surprise us at the convention. I'm just running on copium, man. I'm running on the fact that Biden should have just been a one-term president. Focused on that. I know I said it before, but that would have been the dream scenario because he was killing it earlier on. He was doing a good job. He was really surprised when I left his ass. I mean, another good thing you could bring up that happened under Biden was at least Julian Assange was free. That's a good thing. I don't know if you can really give Biden credit for that, but it was his DOJ that set Assange free. Granted, the circumstances of what got him free is setting some bad precedent for whistleblowers and journalists who want to reveal U.S. war crimes. But at least Assange was free under Biden. Can't say that about Trump. Can't say that about Obama. I'm trying, man. I'm really trying. I'm trying because I gotta do some campaigning for this motherfucker and phone bank for this motherfucker. Why do you gotta do that? I live in a swing state. That's why. That's why I'm biting the bullet myself. I have said biting the bullet more times in this fucking video than I have said in any other video. But, a phrase works, a phrase works. You know, even though Bowman lost, I phone banged for that man. I tried. Even if Trump wins, which I hope doesn't happen, at least I will have tried. Even though I'm not a fan of Biden. I voted for that motherfucker in the primary. Not a fan of him. The 2024 primary, I want to specify. Oh, man. I wish Bernie won in 2016, man. Oh, God. Can I go in that timeline, please, where Bernie was president for 8 years? No, that timeline doesn't exist. This is the timeline we live in. This is the world we live in. Great. I love it. I love just being absolutely fucked and seeing not only the rise of American fascism, but fascism in Europe as well. That's what I love to see. Great. This is terrifying, man. And not just Europe, also South America, too. Because you got that one asshole in Argentina or Chile. I think it's Argentina. Point is, there's gotta be some type of fucking miracle for Biden to win. Maybe something good will happen before the election for Biden. What that is, I don't know. With that in mind, live long and prosper. Thanks for watching this video.